Greetings, Agent Pink. We're pleased you've accepted this most dangerous of spy missions. You say you're not a spy. Perfect! That means no one will suspect you. This is a mission of vital importance. You don't want to let your country down, do you? Smashing news! Glad to have you aboard, Agent Pink. Now, several blocks away is this large building. Atop this building, in an office, is this large safe. Concealed within is a computer disk of the utmost importance. Your mission, retrieve this disk. Now then, Agent Pink, let's get you some proper spyware, shall we? Not bad, a little tight. Additionally, we have prepared several devices for you that will aid you in your mission. But you must not use the gadgets until you absolutely need them. A few more items of the utmost importance. This man will do anything to stop you. You must avoid him at all costs. Once you have retrieved the disc, deliver it to this woman, one of our most trusted agents. Good luck, Agent Pink, and be alert. Your enemy could be anywhere. Your opponent may use clever tricks to frighten you. Your equipment can assist you, such as the one in your front left pocket. That's a strange-looking bird. Remember your spy gear. There is a way out of any dead-end situation, Agent Pink. You need assistance reaching the top floor. Fortunately, not all your devices are as innocent as they appear.
Let's play together. I love you. I love you.
There's a tough one. Good show, Agent Pink. Once you have retrieved the disc, you won't have much time to meet your contact. That jacket hardly goes with those shoes, don't you think? Let's teach that villain once more what it means to be a spy. Greetings, Agent Pink. You brought the disc. Excellent work. Do you know how hard it is to find this song? Once upon a time, so very long ago, in an enchanted pinkdom, not the one that you know, there lived many lovable characters, the greatest, the best. But Little Pink Riding Hood was loved much more than the rest. He was good, he was kind, he was oh so sweet, bringing treats to his granny who was nursing sore feet. He skipped quite a lot. No one really knows why. Little Pink Riding Hood was just that kind of guy. Then there's the piggy with house made of straw, whose efforts to thwart him made Big Bad Wolfie guffaw. Because that clever old wolf was a gardener by trade, he fired up his leaf blower and Piggy's house was pureed. Though I don't think he planned it, he crashed the house made of sticks, leaving 3 frightened pigs in a house made of bricks. Well, the wolf wasn't done. No, he was hungry and mean, and he ran off to find an even bigger machine. A gigantic thing with a huge wrecking ball. He'd fricassee that house, a side of bacon for all. Uh-oh, was the thought I think that he had when the gigantic ball crashed down on his head. Little Pink Riding Hood was well on his way. Nothing could stop him from getting to Granny's this day. But what? Wait a minute. What have we here? That wolf is up to something awful, I fear. 3 beans for the basket I'll trade you, he crowed. But Pink Riding Hood shook his head. No, no, no. Said bye-bye to the wolf and skipped off down the road. But it's not over yet. You should know that by now. A strange man in shorts showed up with a cow. But stop! Wait a minute. Those beans are possessed. That stalk is gigantic. I'm really impressed. But given some thought, and it's only a hunch, I'd rather clean up after a cow than be somebody's lunch. A quaint little cottage. A sleepy golden-haired child. I know you know this one, but bear with me a while. 3 bowls filled with porridge, cold, medium, and hot. That hungry Pink Riding Hood planned to devour the lot. We changed up the story, gave a twist to the plot. There's things going on that we kinda forgot. So pay close attention. The story gets thicker. The wolf's probably thinking, I should have left quicker! But Pink Riding Hood just keeps skipping along, unaware that the wolf is still coming on strong. He high-fives Humpty Dumpty and bids him farewell, then spends just a moment with Jack and Jill by the well. But down goes that egg. He lands with a crash! The king's horses and men want to know, who will clean up this trash? What's next, you might ask, and you'd be right to say. Hasn't that crazy old wolf done enough damage today? So I'll fill you in because I've got this itch. That the one thing we're missing in this tale is a witch. She's not just any old witch. Nope, she's one of a kind, and she's really very unhappy with what the wolf left behind. So she hops on her broom, makes a gingerbread man, and off he goes running just as fast as he can. Pink's very happy. He's finally here with his basket of goodies for his sweet granny dear. But there is so much thunder booing outside. What's going to happen next? Keep your eyes open wide. 'Cause here's where the story gets really quite hairy. Granny isn't actually a granny. She's really a fairy. That wolf better watch it. She's good with that wand. With a flick of her stick, that wolf will be gone. So what lesson do we learn from this story, my friends? If you take care of your granny, you'll eat well in the end.
Join us now as we have the rare opportunity to watch the world's foremost nature photographer at work. He's captured shots nobody else in his field has ever dreamed of, ranking him among the world's best photographers. But he must make use of all his wit and experience as he searches for perhaps the most elusive subject in the natural world. Never seen and never photographed. All we have are tantalizing hints of the rare Pink Panther. And that's why this man, with his innate understanding of nature, sharp wit, natural raw talent, and years of experience, is the only one capable of such a difficult and tedious task. Not to mention, he's a sharp dresser. And the search begins. Moving like an animal himself, he snakes through the forest like one of its own. In order to capture this mysterious beast, our hero must always remain alert. Have an eye sharp as the eagle itself. Finding himself blending in with the terrain, this pioneer of nature photography is as careful as a predator, watching his every move. A pleasure to watch him work. Graceful, elegant, unpronounced, meticulous, unnoticed, free-flowing, fluid, enchanting, legendary. The hunt continues. Patience is the ultimate virtue for a top nature photographer. He has been 3 days waiting for some sign of the Pink Panther. Ever alert, always aware. He must be ready for action at any time. Constantly watchful, every muscle tensed for the moment of truth. One never knows when the shot of a lifetime will appear within camera range. The jungle, with its many species of wild animals and poisonous plants, is a very hazardous place. In a bold and potentially dangerous move, our man has decided to seek out the Pink Panther in his secret hidden lair. Here, he'll surprise the hunter where he least expects it. Everywhere, remains of prey taken and eaten by this ferocious hunter. No creature is safe from this cold-blooded predator, which has the surprising tendency to sometimes toy with his food. Despite our photographer's stealthy approach, the panther has sensed an intruder and slinks into the darkness. Carefully, he proceeds. His expertly trained eyes peeled for the paw print of the panther. At last, our hero has his precious pink prey practically procured. A true professional, this photographic genius is always in the right place at the right time. Positively? Perhaps? Could it be? Just when things are darkest, the dedicated nature photographer's determination pays off. At last, returning to civilization in triumph, the world's top nature photographer is welcomed by his magazine editor with cheers of admiration. Now, on to the next great challenge.
Ah! Oh.
Hello. Huh?